Hey, you guys, I guess this is going to be part two of the 30-day cleanse reset episode. I cut myself a little bit short. There's some more information I wanted to share with you. So during this reset phase, it's really important that we go back and make sure that we're doing the basics of this cleanse. No alcohol, no processed sugar, no processed foods. And again, what does processed mean? So for me, that means if it has an ingredients list, it needs to be under 5 items, and they all need to be things that I recognize as food. Like I eat a brown rice pasta, and the ingredients are brown rice and water. That to me is not a processed food. However, if you look at the back of a bag of Doritos, yeah, you could argue that they're corn chips, but do you understand what some of those ingredients are? They're straight up chemicals and preservatives. So that is going to be the difference with processed food. So make sure you're doing that. This is the time when the detox symptoms can start to get a little bit worse with the GX Assist. So you want to be more of a Puritan about this. And in the beginning, we reduced caffeine, wheat, animal protein, dairy, and soy products. But I'm going to urge you to, again, breathe into that discomfort and try to eliminate a couple of these. The caffeine specifically is going to make your detox symptoms worse. And I just tell people, like, we're not just eliminating this stuff to see how tough we can be. It's really because you are making your body's job harder. We're trying to clean it up, and you're putting crud in. So that's why your detox symptoms will increase. So caffeine is one of the culprits that I think is the most important here. It's not easy. I'm not saying it is, but if you can try to even further reduce it or eliminate it, you're going to be a lot more comfortable. And wheat, dairy, animal protein, soy products, you want to have as little of those as possible in your diet anyway. So again, see what you can do. Breathe into that discomfort, reduce a little bit further, and you'll be surprised how well you'll do with this. So lots of constipation happening, and that is heartbreaking for me. It's important that you're eliminating once minimum a day, and the discomfort that can come with constipation is brutal. Plus, we're releasing a lot of toxins in our system. We're cleaning our liver, our kidneys, and we're dislodging. Some of us might be losing weight. And when you do that, you're releasing toxins that get stored in your fat cells. So we got all this crud floating around in our body right now. And if you're not eliminating, then you're kind of just recycling that stuff. And that's not great. So the more you can go, the better. I'm not saying you want to have urgency and loose stools, but if you can have a daily bowel movement, and the recommendation is really for it to be easy to pass. It doesn't take a lot of time, so we're not reading a newspaper or tweeting in the bathroom. So the other thing too is it should be, and this is a little bit gross to talk about, but it should be long and tube-like or like a log. Those are the things you want to be looking for. And I did make some recommendations earlier this week to help you guys out. If you're feeling constipated, up your Zendocrine, maybe take one more a day, see if that changes anything for you, and maybe take a little bit more Terrazyme, maybe take 2 Terrazyme with your meals, especially if your meals are, I don't want to say highly processed because it's not the meaning I'm really wanting to get across, cooked. So the more cooked your foods are, and I talked about this in the Activate video, the more cooked your foods are, the less enzymes they have, and enzymes are vital to digestion. So if you're having like steak and potatoes, have more Terrazyme. If you're eating a salad, you don't need more Terrazyme. So it's just something for you to gauge and make decisions with. Sorry about that. Am I still sharing? I think I just lost my screen for a second. Okay, we're back. Sorry. Yeah, so Terrazyme added in while you're eating more cooked foods that have less enzymes on them will help to reduce some of this constipation. So I want you to be cautious about the foods to add in to eliminate constipation. A lot of times it's an indication that you don't have enough fiber and you're not drinking enough water. So if you go back to that Bristol bowel movement scale where it was like 1 to 8, and it showed little diagrams of what the stool looks like in those categories. The 1 and 2 section is difficult to pass, small little pellets that can actually be scratchy and cause fissures or tearing. So if you're in that category where it's difficult to pass and it's more hard, that is not good. We want to get you out of that area. Increase water. If you're increasing fiber, this is something you want to do little by little. You don't want to completely just dump fiber into your system because it could potentially make the constipation worse. So you want to choose the fiber that you're eating more carefully, and you want to focus on soluble fiber. A really good example of this is chia seeds. So chia seeds, when they're introduced to liquid, they take on the liquid and they become kind of slimy. And that sliminess actually helps with the passing of stool. So flaxseed, chia seed, those are really good examples of soluble fiber. Beans are also soluble fiber. That can be super, super helpful. So just keep that in mind. You want to not overhaul your system too quickly. Maybe add a little bit more, drink a lot more water, and listen to your body. And then I do have some oil suggestions for you. These are great oils for promoting digestion. And if you're going to use them topically, you don't have to dilute them. None of them are hot oils. So you can use them neat, which just means without any fractionated coconut oil. And you want to rub in the direction of digestion, which I mentioned earlier, is up your left side, across the front, and down. Wait, wrong way. I'm looking at myself in the video, which is reversed. Up your right side, across the top, and down your left. And that's what you see here. It's clockwise. And then something really cool to have on your radar is reflexology. You can use any one of these oils on your reflex points on your feet to help support healthy digestion. And you can see, I'll use my little arrow to point it out. This is where your colon is. And this is the right side again. So it's like reversed, and this is the left side. So you want to apply any of those oils to the colon area on your foot. The idea here is that every organ in our body has a set of neurons that are spread throughout your body, and they all end in your feet, in your hands, and in your ears. So there's reflexology points in your ears, hands, and feet that correlate to each one of those organs or areas of the body. And by manipulating that part of your foot, you can trigger a response in that organ. And I've experienced this. And this was more for pain in my stomach. I used to get horrible pain in my lower right abdomen because I was not eating things that were right for my body. Again, bioindividuality. And I would get severe pain there. So I was in and out of airports one day, and I wasn't really able to get to my tummy to put the oil on my belly, but I had flip-flops on. So I took my foot out and I applied, I think it was copaiba and peppermint, because I had the little minis with me, directly to that area on my foot. And it took the bloating and the pain away. And I knew, like, I had known that this was a thing for a while, but it blew my mind. I was so pleased and just like mind blown that I had to share it with as many people as I can. And that's why I want you guys to know about this. It is real. You can really impact the different organs of your body through pressure points on your feet. It's the coolest thing. So I don't know if that interests you. I think when it comes in most handy is when you have to use an oil that you don't really care for the smell of. So back to like the example of oregano when I'm sick, or if I have a cold or there's a flu in the house. then I would apply that to the balls of my feet. So like, let's say you have a chest cold, balls of the feet. Let's say you have something going on in your sinuses, then you're going to apply it to the third toe there on both feet. That works your sinuses. Or you have a head cold, then you're gonna apply it again to the tips of your toes there. So it's really neat, and I just want you to have this as a tool. So thank you guys. Sorry for video number 2. I got cut off. I cut myself off. But I think this was information that's helpful. So take care and use these new tools. Thanks, guys.